Oh,
photographer, and
yeah,
she was
yeah,
the
that's
one.
Melanie and Lindsay.
Oh, both. Oh, they did.
Both.
Both of them did both of those to you. Okay, standing. But when I'm in Indonesia and we go to the grocery store and you take the ticket, the machine says silicone in my soup.
But we good, right? We still live together. We don't kill each other.
Not over that.
Huh? What?
Well, I did
Is that
wake
the
up with
reason?
you had that. I did wake up when you had that pillow in your hand that night.
Hi, everyone. How are you? Hi, you. How are you?
I'm great.
Okay, so back to our channel in Spicy Blue TV. My name's Sinta Northcat, the wife.
I'm the husband.
You're the husband. All right. So we're gonna talk about our tour experience today, not only in Indonesia, but probably he got a experience from the I don't know somewhere that I never know.
Maybe.
Okay, but before that, please subscribe and watch the whole video so you can laugh with us. So, dear, do you have the wild experience when you travel? Not with me. I mean, that's good if you can explain something about us, but if you're not, somewhere I don't know, the wildest experience when you travel.
Most of my experiences that are kind of different are when I go to countries that don't speak the same language, and I typically don't speak the language either. So there's always some stories when you meet someone who kind of speaks English. You're in Spain, I kind of spoke Spanish, and it's really a bigger mess than if you don't speak at all. But now you've got Google Translate, so all
Yeah,
those fun times may not happen anymore.
might not happen anymore. How about your last experience, the newest one? Do you
Well,
still
the
have that
newest,
problem?
my newest problematic experience was when I was traveling with you and we were packing suitcases, and I left a lot of room in my suitcase. And a little bit later, you came up to me and you said, "Do you really need this many pairs of socks?" And I didn't know what you meant. And then you said, "Well, how many shirts do you need? Do you need long pants or just shorts?" And I didn't know what was going on until we got to the hotel and I opened my bag and I couldn't find any of my clothes because it was your stuff in my bag.
Is anybody that's outside our house? Another husband and wife has the same problem with us.
Oh, oh, that's normal. Okay, okay. Wow. Um, I was
That's
working for
normal.
I was working for a Spanish company, and I
Okay.
lived in Dallas. I flew to southern Spain, a little state called Almeria, and I was in the
Okay.
city center, and it was great. And of course, they don't eat dinner until like 9:30 at night. Well, I got to the hotel at 6. 15 minutes. I was bored. I walked down the street, found a bar, had some drinks, got some food, posted my food on Facebook, went back to the hotel, was picked up. They took me to dinner. And these two guys that I worked with, who I worked with, they cornered me and they said, "You went out on your own?" Yeah, I did. I was hungry. So, I mean, wrong with it. I was not in danger. It was a tourist area. Yeah, no big deal, but it worried them.
That's true. I mean, even in Indonesia, we also have different dinner time with American. You guys is what time? 5, 6, probably,
If
right?
it's not farming season, it's 6 o'clock at night. If it's farming season, it's 9 o'clock at night.
Oh, that's what it is. But I never saw you in the 9 o'clock dinner anyway. So okay. In Indonesia, in my culture, my country, normally we do dinner about 7-ish, So
Well,
yeah.
what I learned when I lived in Hawaii was people would come home from work,
Okay.
and a lot of people didn't have air conditioning. And, it was hot in Hawaii. And so they would hang out and do things and play the ukulele and visit with the neighbors. And then they would cook, typically in the outside kitchen, which you have as well. And then they would eat late because it was actually cooler. And I think that was the only reason they ate so late.
A second, you say in Hawaii you have like the visitation with the neighbor too?
Hmm.
Oh, wow. All right. I don't think that's happened in the area though. So you have like, of course, your family, you born in Western culture. That's mean American, okay? And
Got it.
then you have Indonesian wife that really beautiful. And then you
A beautiful
also
culture or a beautiful wife? Which are we stressing? Because it's both true, right?
both through. Okay. And about the Asian thing, you already live around, you know. So
Right.
what the things that you're really difficult to make it blend each other?
I think one of the biggest shocks to me was how houses are multi-generational in all of the Asian communities. Um, I took a trip to Taiwan one time, and it was a three-floor house on the farm, and you had, the grandparents on the bottom floor, the parents on the second floor, and then the children and the grandkids lived on the top floor. And I mean, it's a very respect your elder thing. And I mean, here in the US, everybody's pretty much independent. And it's like we can't wait to get out of college and get our own place. And our parents may live in the same town or across the, state or across the country. It doesn't really matter. But that's a different deal.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, yeah. And I don't know. I know from the podcast, another podcast that I have ever watched. Okay, I watch.
Okay.
Like in US, sometimes they just send the parents to the house, the older house.
There,
What do you call that
there-
one?
there's different levels. It starts with something we call independent living. So maybe I'm old enough, but I have stairs in my house and the yard's too big and I can't take care of it. So my kids will move me into essentially a duplex or an apartment, but it's independent living. But there are places, on the grounds that if I need a light bulb replaced or that type of thing, they're there. The next step is assisted living. So they have people that would come in and, maybe cook for you or maybe help you take a shower, take a bath, what have you, something like that. And then the next step would be a nursing home, which is kind of like a dorm room. There's each person has a room, but there's a common area. There's common dining rooms and rec rooms and such as that. Typically, you have a roommate in here. A lot of people will pay extra for a private room.
Oh, a
These
second.
places,
Pay extra. So those things is not covered by insurance.
no, that's a whole nother discussion. But these places are quite expensive. Even in Arkansas, they can be $6,000 a month for everything.
$6,000 a month. Oh, a second. In Indonesia will be a lot of zero. 6,000. One, two, three, four, five, six. Oh my God. It will be 90 million. 90 million
Per
Indonesian
month.
rupiah per
Per
month.
month. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I can buy car in that money.
But the thing is, yes, you can buy some really nice cars for that money, more than one. The thing is, though, there's a full nursing staff, so they'll have, CNAs to take care of your bedding. They'll have laundry. They'll have all your meals. They provide entertainment. I think the one in town even has a beauty shop. You've got religious people that will come in and teach Sunday school. They'll have church, stuff like that. A lot of times they'll have some small bands that come over in the rec room on Saturday night. So
Oh, they
they
have a
try to
jam
make
too, huh?
well, they try to make it fun, but nobody
Okay.
wants to go because you're losing your freedom. Your independence is
Oh, that's what it is. Okay, got you. So in Indonesia, if you send your parents to the nursing house, something like that, uh, you're like the bad guy in the family.
right.
So
Mhm.
you really cannot do that. The better and the only way is just take care of the parents in the house. Even if you not stay around, you can hire the nanny for them, something like that. That's okay in here.
What
But
about in the
usually,
case,
yeah.
what about in the case of like dementia or Alzheimer's when, the mind of the individual goes? Is it okay to have them in that type of facility then, or is it still
Yeah,
not?
still not. Still
Okay.
not. It's still not appropriate. So still, I mean, probably they're gonna take care of the parent or who got that dementia. You know what I mean? To the hospital for treatment, but after
Gotcha.
hospital, just take her in the house. And yeah, I mean,
Here's another
probably.
question for you.
All
Here's another
right.
question because in the US, it's typically the oldest son who has responsibility. Who has responsibility for the parents in Indonesia?
Is different each province, each ethnic. I'm Javanese. Usually the older don't care about the man, the
Okay.
and like the older man or woman don't care. But like Lampungese people, like the really ethnic Lampungese, they only the older brother, the
Okay.
older son who take care of the parent. It just depends. Some ethnic, some in another area, it will be different. So I really don't know how they work
Okay.
because you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you think about when you come here and I have like my parents and my youngest daughter here?
I was prepared
Oh,
to
you
to deal with
okay?
that. So it wasn't a big deal because, like I say, I was prepared because I had seen it. So, not a problem for me. Plus, I like picking on your mother a little bit. So, that's always fun.
That's probably you cannot talk with them because they don't know English.
Oh, no. She and I have a way of understanding each other quite a bit of the time.
That's okay. We're gonna go to the next question. Probably I just want to know: have you ever accidentally committed a cultural hoax? You know what I mean? You cross the law or something accidentally, and tell me what happened.
Actually, I did in China. And
Really?
I was in mainland China and I didn't really understand this, but there are certain groups of people, and I see a little kid, I pat him on the head. I mean, that's kind of what I do. And I did that to a little boy, and I mean, the room got quiet. And that particular group of people, and I wish I could remember, the region that they were originally from, but that was a no-no. You don't touch someone on the head.
Oh, okay. So what they do to you?
Oh, they just figured I was the dumb guy with blue eyes and forgave me. But,
Oh, you
it was,
are.
it
I'm
was,
sorry. This just come out.
I
Sorry.
did,
Go.
did it. Yeah, I thought I heard what you were thinking there. But, it was excusable because obviously I didn't understand it. But I mean, it was obvious that I did wrong immediately. So, I mean, the whole room just like froze.
Ooh. All
Nobody
right.
died, nobody got killed, nobody went to jail. So, and I didn't do it again.
That's true. So I just try to remember what I did in the US is that can happen. What is that? Do I did something that there is no.
Um, there's not. I can think of two.
Oh, two, okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's a little different, but it was again something you didn't understand.
Oh, I
Um,
have two scenes already. Okay, one.
say sins. Um,
Okay, tell me.
it's my understanding, and I'm getting this secondhand. I didn't see it take place, but it's my understanding at the wedding, which was your first wedding ceremony, and you were actually participating in your first one, not watching your first one. And you had someone helping you finish getting dressed and make sure everything was perfect and goddess like. And then she said, "Okay, when you hear the bridal march, go down the aisle. I'm going to go sit." And your response to the other lady standing there was, "What?"
Like what the sound of the wedding march? I don't know what is that. Tell me. But a second. When I listening that music, I know that music, but I don't know that that one is the
By that
wedding
name.
march. Yeah,
Right.
I really don't know. No, I don't know. So,
And
okay,
the,
so I'm going though.
and number two was the same day, a little bit later, in an adjacent building when we were taking care of the cake, and the photographer was there, and you were
Oh,
about to cut the top tier of the cake, and she about had a runaway because you don't cut the top tier of the cake. You eat that on your first anniversary. And you didn't understand that, and it was explained, and now it's still kind of a joke that comes up frequently here.
that's
But
true. I mean,
anyway,
hey, you want to save the cake? And I said, like, save the cake. No, you can cut it and everyone can have it. That's okay.
and then
I
like me touching the little kid's head, everybody's like, "Oh."
Melanie, right? Melanie.
Well, I don't know. Melanie was the one that told you about the bridal march, and I think Lindsay was the
Oh,
photographer, and
yeah,
she was
yeah.
the
That's
one.
Melanie and Lindsay.
Oh, both. Oh, they did.
Both.
Both of them did both of those to you. Okay.
That's why, and she said each other, they talk each other, and then no, she don't understand that. That's why I like, what happened? And then Melanie started to explain that you gonna keep that cake and eat for the next year. And like next, yeah. Like, do we still have cake in the mother's
Yes, because
refrige?
you weren't here. Yes, you weren't
Okay,
here.
so probably
And
next year
I was
after
not
two
going to take a
years.
chance on poisoning myself alone.
Okay, tell mama that just keep that way. Okay, I want to know after 2 years.
It's frozen. It'll keep.
All right, this is probably the last question. Okay,
Okay.
we in the first we talk about the language, the barrier language barrier. Okay, so
Mhm.
what's the most ridiculous language misunderstanding that you have experienced while you're traveling?
It's not really a misunderstanding, but when I'm in Indonesia and we go to the grocery store and you take the ticket, the machine says silicone in my soup.
Selamat no silicon in my soup. Silahkan masuk. Silahkan masuk. That's mean please come in. That's what it is.
Tomato, tomato. What's the big deal?
Yeah, silahkan masuk. Yeah, please. Okay, so you don't really have that experience, don't you?
Not yet, because I don't know enough of the language. I mean,
Okay.
other than me calling chicken manuk, and manuk is bird in Indonesia. And manuk is, I
But
guess,
we have
any
some of
kind of
that language that probably cool. It's like the rambutan for a hairy fruit.
yeah. And
You
hairy
remember?
chicken, hairy
And
chicken.
we also have the hairy chicken. What else we have? Do you remember? Yeah, we call something that funny and then still make us remember that moment.
Exactly.
Okay, baby. Thank you for our conversation today. That was really fun, though. Oh yeah, and this just disclaimer because we both, Alan and Sinta, we are staying different country and of course different time. What time in your side here?
It is 9:45 at night, 21:45 for you military inclined.
So 9:45 in the morning EM in Indonesia. Babe, do you know that you talk to the future, right?
I know in the future is beautiful. Wow. And you're
Oh,
reliving the past. I'm speaking to the future and you're reliving the past. We should have called this Back to the Future, but I think that's already trademarked.
so do you have something for me?
You know what I do? I have another story that we left out about the language
Okay.
issues. And I'll be one of the first to admit that your English skills are really, really, really amazing. And I can tell that because you actually get most of my jokes. And that's kind of the way I tell speaking to someone with English as a second language how, good they are at it because if they get the jokes or not.
Okay.
But we're in Indonesia, we're at your house, and the scooter
Mhm.
comes up and you tell me to go get the packet.
Oh
And
yeah.
I'm okay, I'll do it because number one, I don't really like to correct you, especially in front of other people. And I go out there and there's this big box like the size of three shoe boxes, and I come in and we open it or do whatever. And I'm like, dear, I need to tell you something. I said, you always want me to correct you when you misspeak. And I said, the word for this is not packet, it's package. I said, in English, a packet is like a sugar packet, or perhaps, this lens wipe is
Okay, the
a
little one.
packet because it's small. And if it's
Okay.
this is a package, not a packet. And your response, without skipping a beat, without criticizing me, was what?
Baby, I'm sorry, but in Indonesia, that's the packet.
So you weren't butchering the English language, you were correctly using Indonesian
Indonesian
language.
language.
So
Yeah.
again, the joke was on me in that case.
But we good, right? We still live together. We don't kill each other.
Not over that.
Huh? What?
Well, I did
Is that
wake
the
up with
reason?
you had that I did wake up when you had that pillow in your hand that night.
No, I did not. No. Okay, before it go everywhere and goes wrong, thank you for watching us. Don't forget to subscribing, okay? Bye, baby.
Ding.
Good night.